Baltimore Ravens head up north to take on Tommy DeVito and the New York Giants. Nick, start with you.
So,
What are you looking forward to see after the bye?
what do I look forward to see? About to ask.
Hmm.
Shortly and concisely. We're going up to New York. Last time I think we went up there to play the Giants, we lost to Daniel Jones. Fourth quarter collapse. Many hardball memes. Many hardball faces. We can't have a repeat of that. This is the game, the opportunity, the chance to go into lesser teams' home field, um, take care of business, dismantle them, and then rest your starters in the fourth quarter. It should be one of those games where the 5,000 fans, 10,000 fans that show up to root for the Giants, they're gone by the middle of the third quarter. Anything else is utter failure. And I'm not speaking in hyperbole. I mean, honestly, the Giants are not a good team. They're trying to tank for Shador or someone else. But the whole point is they're not trying to win. Um, and this is opportunity after the bye with the drama that we've had with going into the bye with 5 losses, being a wild card team at the moment, not controlling your own destiny as far as home field. This is an opportunity to get some feel good, some get right, um, exact some revenge for the last loss, and also exact some frustrations and take out some frustrations out on a team like this. This is the perfect scenario for post by uh, correcting issues, getting the team to feel good about themselves, feel good about their chances again. Not that they don't, but whooping on another team always brings back the necessary delusions, right? You need to have some sort of delusion if you want to accomplish the goals that you set out to accomplish, and especially like a goal of winning the Super Bowl. At some point, you got to feel good about yourself going into it. And in the last few weeks or so, I don't think we've given ourselves the opportunity to feel the greatest, right? I mean, we're still a good team. We're still in every game. We never get blown out. We always have an opportunity, but just seems like in the biggest games we don't etch them out at the end like we should, as consistently as we should. And I don't think this week is an opportunity to beat that narrative, but it is an opportunity to beat on a bum team. And hey, I will take that anytime. Tommy DeVito, Drew Lock, it doesn't matter who is back there. Those are guys that you want to force turnovers. You want to get some sacks. You want to see the secondary continue to manifest itself and update itself. Weeks 1 through 10, the Ravens defense ranked 27th in total yards per game, 27th in yards per play, last in pass yards per game, and 30th in third down percentage. And the last 4 weeks or so, week 11 through 14, the same defense, obviously with a few different personnel changes and a couple tweaks. Second in total yards per game now, first in yards per play, second in pass yards per game, and tied for fourth and third down percentage. So from go to last to second in that short order of time, you have to give everyone on that defense credit, from the players, uh, from the coaches. I mean, we talked about Dean Pease and made some jokes about it, but I mean, his presence has led to some changes, some personnel adjustments, some play call adjustments, strategy adjustments, and Zach Orr just growing into his role as well. You got to give credit where it's due. When you criticize, we can criticize with the best of them, but we also like to point out when guys turn it around. And to see a defense go from that to that in that short order of time, it gives you hope that it can continue to build upon that. Now, the only thing is with football, it's a 53-man roster. It's a team sport. So you got the defense humming, and now the offense is being inconsistent. We got to get to a point where we got defense playing its best, offense playing its best, and special teams playing its best. And if we ever can get to that point in that fantasy world, we'll like our chances. But again, we don't. I don't even think we need to. I think this is opportunity that for those 3 levels of football, focusing on being consistent, play after play on, and having a complete game. If we can have a complete game versus the Giants, we'll feel really good about this week and going forward.
All right, let's get to them keys.
Hit me on a slant. Give me keys to the inside. They took the keys. We don't have any keys.
Now give me the keys.
All right, Keys, what's your outlook on this game?
Yeah, I mean, I agree 110, 20% with what Nick said. Everything right on point. It ain't funeral time, but you see, we got all black. It's kind of like it's black Air Force.
See, everybody got Ravens paraphernalia on this.
Yeah, like it's time.
Feel good about yourselves, right? Make sense.
I mean, we're trying to.
Yeah,
right? So,
make it till you make it, right?
Right, exactly. There you go. But it's one of them black athletes. Like you just like you say, man. You just gotta go in there and take care of business. It's one of them games where you should be able to rest. Like it's one of them games where you should be like, all right, like let's get ready to watch this Steelers Eagles game so we can see what we got to do next week. That's the type of game you want to come out after a bye week. A team that is ass, a team that's really really bad in all phases of the game. You should be able to dominate them. Utter collapse by the Ravens. You're going to be in the playoffs. So now it's time to, you got a tough game against next week against the Steelers, of course. Got a tougher game against the Texans on the road. And then you got a divisional game to finish against the Browns. It's time for the Ravens to start, looking forward to the playoffs. Like, Brian or utter collapse, they're going to be in the playoffs. More than likely won't get a first round home game because that's going to go to yards, division winners. But it's time to start putting together, like Nick said, all three phases. It's time to start looking like, okay, we know we got 4 games left to kick it in gear. And I think that's what, and you couldn't ask for a better opportunity coming out of a bye week than the New York Giants. Like, other than maybe another, can't even say the Panthers because they better now. It's few teams that you want to play other than the Giants coming out of bye. After you come a tough loss to the Eagles. You just gotta come out, man, and just try to play Raven football. Like I said, we talked about it last week, and Nick just talked about it again. Defense, they've been playing great. Ever since up in Pittsburgh, they've been playing very, very well. Not a lot of miscommunication. They still giving up plays, but I'm okay with giving up plays because they shut and sit down in the red zone like they're supposed to. So they just need 1 big play, 2 big plays here, and they'll be fine. I'm just looking at this game as to get right back on course, man. You just like you say, you take care of business. This game should be over at half if you do what you got to do. You should be able to go in there and dominate them. And like I said, get ready for the what next week is. So I'm not really, going to say the Ravens go ahead and beat the Giants, 30-10 or 35-17. I'm not going to come in here on Monday and say, oh no, it's what you're supposed to do. This is the game which you're supposed to. I'm not looking forward to celebrating the Ravens blowing them out or whatever. I'm just looking forward to them, playing consistent, handling intangibles. I'm looking forward to Justin Tucker making some damn kicks. Hopefully, like I'm looking forward to Lamar, taking his check down or defense getting on the ball on third down. Because like I said, I'm just looking forward for the finished product. At this point, we got it. The playoffs is around the corner. We can't keep on saying if we get better than this, all right, we get better than this. All right, now is the time after a bye week, you healthy, to put it on the field to show it, and that's what this. It's time. Like you really can't act. So you really, like I said, you got the Giants, the Steelers, the Texans, and the Browns. It's time. It's time to show why everybody. Because even still, like you look at all the, like I said, this stats or whatever. But you look at all the projections or whatever. Like even though the Steelers favored to win, the division, the Ravens still got a better chance. They favor them a better chance to get the Super Bowl. So it's people see what this team can be. It's like now you got to put it together. You got to put it together. And I'm not going to say right now that they better than the Chiefs, Bills, or the Steelers. Like that's never going to come out. But you can get there if you start playing consistent football. Will you be able to be? It comes down to we've been saying this comes down to coaching, man. What they're going to do is coaching. What they're going to do on third down. What they're going to do? Are we going to be aggressive on fourth down? So that's something. I'm just looking forward to this game to see what we're looking like coming out this bye and getting ready for Pittsburgh. It's not a game of course you look past nobody. You can't look past nobody in the NFL, but it's a game you should go out there. And I don't know if you're covering 16. That's a lot of points, but you should be able to do what you got to do, man. You should be able to be up 2 or 3 scores, by the end of the third quarter, like Nick said, and you should be midway. We shouldn't be seeing Lamar in the full quarter of this game.
Like if you do, it's like you said, is a disappointment. Something ain't going right. If it's close, 1 score, 2 score games, a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, something ain't going right. Something's not right, and that's a fear because we've seen this team do stuff like this against bad teams. So I just wanted them to kick it again. Like I said, we healthy at every position, every key player. We're healthy. The Ravens are healthy at every. Bateman's back, even though that's not saying a lot, but he's back to fill that void that he left last week because it was definitely missing. Even though he don't produce like we want him to, it was definitely missing. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I really don't have my key is just I want to see them perform well in all 3 phases of the game and just keep clicking forward. I need the offense to give. I guess if I had a key, that would be I need the offense to get back in gear. I need them to get back to what they were. I need Moncton to get back to calling the plays and calling the screen game. Went away from it. We're not running screens like we were before. So I need him to get back to doing what he was before. And I think like I said, the bye week couldn't come at a better time for the Ravens.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I mean, you talk about the Ravens bye week. The Ravens 13-3 following a bye week under John Harbaugh. However, though they're 2-3, he's 2-3 career against the Giants. So that's his 4th first record against any opponent in the NFL. So that's pretty weird to say. But it's a team that we've historically struggled with. But given the way they look right now, you talk about a bad team, but they're even worse without Andrew Thomas and Dexter Lawrence, who will both miss the game. So it's a chance really to enforce your will up front, especially in the trenches. Spend some questions about the O-line. A couple weeks going into the bye, maybe they needed a rest, maybe they needed a facelift. But it's a chance to really just prayer too. Need some oil, but just a chance to dominate them in the trenches. Yeah, that'll do it too. But they're not a good team in the run game. We can beat them up there, and I think Keith made a good point. You shouldn't see these guys in the fourth quarter. I mean, you're talking 3 games in 11 days. I'm hoping we only see Lamar into the third quarter. I mean, this game should be so far out of reach that you can bring whoever in at that point. I mean, this is not a good football team. You're talking about 16.5-point underdog. That's really what they are. Tom DeVito, he's not a good quarterback outside of Neighbors, and they can't even get him the ball. It just looks like they're tanking possibly for, the Cam Wars, the Shador, Sanders. So I don't see much out this game, but just a chance for the Ravens to come out and enforce their will early and really just get prepared for what's ahead of them. And that's the Steelers and the Texans in a 4 or 5 day span. And that's what's going to determine your season and ultimately determine your playoff seed.
And the NFL is completely wrong for doing us, the Chiefs, the Texans, and y'all like that. Like, they wrong. There's no reason why they next show. It don't make sense that these teams are playing 3 games, 11 days. Like that makes no sense.
Player safety. It's good point. Like if we weren't in like playoff scenarios, like I would fully tank this game, give them a bad product, and really like just sabotage it because it's crazy. It's crazy.
Big games at that. It's not like like I said, we playing the Giants. It's not like we playing y'all and the Texans. Y'all playing the Eagles, the Texans, and
they're playing the Eagles, Chiefs, and us.
Eagles, Chiefs, and y'all. Like, god damn, it's crazy. It's crazy. Physical games, no time to rest. You don't want to hear excuses, right? But it's like, god damn, like.
It's not ideal. I mean, and then think about a team like the Chiefs who play consistently late into every season in the postseason, and then you have a stretch like this where you're kind of rewarded with the 3 games in 10 days. Like, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like it's much thought behind these decisions other than monetary thoughts, right? Like how much revenue can we create by doing this, or and then trying to fit games on Christmas just for the money aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like if it wasn't Christmas, it wouldn't be 3 games in 10, right? They had to try to fit everything in there. So I don't know, man. It's as far as, and I think Sco can attest to this, as far as the Ravens are concerned with this upcoming stretch, we really are going to have to tread lightly, right? And lean on some depth. I think different players are going to have to get different opportunities. You're going to have to play with the snaps a little bit and make sure that those players that may be a little bit more vulnerable to the extra attrition, maybe we can lighten their load a little bit. And everybody's going to have to have these considerations. The Steelers, the Chiefs, the Texans, like a lot of these teams are going to have to wonder, are we pushing it a little too hard? Is there a way in which we can sneak some other players on the field while letting some other players get a breather? Because what you don't want to see out of this stretch is catastrophic injuries that are gonna affect your playoff chances. You know what I mean? We can get through these three. I mean, honestly, let's be honest. As far as the Ravens are concerned, 10 wins is like our magic number, right? So, how many wins are we away? 2. So we need to go 2-2 in the last 4. Obviously that's not ideal. But at the same token, if we can just get to the playoffs healthy, I think that's the main thing here. Seeding is cool, but I think we already done messed up the division and home field. So let's get that out of here. Of course, you want to finish strong, but it's hard to finish strong if your players are on IR or your players are banged up too. So we gotta make some considerations. And hopefully those are some of the thoughts had in the bye week. And hey, it would be great if we had all our receivers on board and everybody was on board, so that different people can get different opportunities. But before the bye week, that was a concern. So we'll see. This next month is going to be interesting.
Speaking on just quick question. Speaking on Deontay, what's the outlook on him after this week? Has it been any talk if he just gets right back in the rotation? Is that all swept under?
He was never back. That's the problem. I mean, we talked about
no communication.
In the rotation. Yeah, he was never in the rotation. Like you said, I think Nick said on last show, the players behind him. I think that's the most important thing. Your teammates saying there ain't no distraction, nothing. But they run that shit like a dictatorship, so it don't even matter who. I mean, I guess Harbaugh gonna have the final say so, but play him. Like play him, like let him run some regular routes as a wide receiver. Stop him getting him on the field and just making him block. Now I don't agree with the decision not to go in the game, but I don't want to see Deontay Johnson on the field just to block. That's not what he's here for.
It has me wondering, did that reaction come after he asked for a release? Like what? Like I'm with you, and I thought that anybody that says they're not coming into the game, they got to get out of here. I don't care who you are. But I also am not I'm a two-sided type of person. I like to be devil's advocate because there's always two sides to a story. So as devil's advocate, it's like, how do we even get here? What is the root cause? How do we get it to a point where a player doesn't want to play? And especially a player that hasn't been playing. He said, you know what? I haven't been getting a lot of snaps, but fuck those snaps. I ain't doing it. That's weird. As weird as far as how did it get to that point? And it's like you look at the reactions to Devondre Campbell, whether it's Kittle or the other teammate they had, completely different. They basically said, Kittle basically said it was immature. I've never seen somebody quit on their teammates like that. We actually needed linebacker help tonight because of the injury that Dre Greenlaw suffered. And I guess Campbell's point of view was, hey, I've started all year. Dre comes back. Y'all sit me on the bench, and then now y'all want me to come play again. Well, yeah, nigga. Dre was there before you. You ain't nobody special. That's Dre Greenlaw. He was there before you. The players
he was just a replacement.
The players cried at the Super Bowl when he walked off with that Achilles injury. You were the replacement. So now you getting replaced. What you talking about? That's a lot different. That's a lot different than getting traded for in your contract year, and the team that trades for you doesn't have a plan for you. Yeah. And then playing you behind lesser players, and you see the results, right? Like we saw the results when you actually needed a Deontay Johnson to get snaps, and he said, "You know what? I want y'all to get the preview of what y'all been missing. Go ahead and play Nelson. Go ahead and play Tylen." And then they don't step up. I don't know. The reactions are completely different, and I think to your point, Sko, and to everybody's point, it's going to be interesting to see coming into the Pittsburgh game how Harbaugh takes what has happened and tries to mend, or is it we're stuck in our ways and he's just not going to be part of the team, and we're going to try to keep him away from other teams. My thing is, if you didn't want him, release him. He already gave you the reason to release him. Devondre is getting released. So Deontay gave you a reason. What's the reason that we're keeping him? It can't just be a fucking compensatory pick. It can't be. Not a 6th rounder. If this was a 3rd, 4th, yeah, I hear you. You're cooking with hot.
But evil
7th
genius,
rounder,
maybe.
you can't. We can't even trade.
Listen,
Like
man,
what?
Like I said,
What we gonna do with that?
We got 4 games to get kick it in gear. Like I said, besides a crazy ass collapse, you said imagine number 10. The Ravens will be in the playoffs. They should be able to go 2-2 in this last 4 games. It's how you look on something, like you said. And to piggyback on the injury thing, it's not even like the long-term injury, but now it's like a player, get a little tweak on Sunday. He might be good by next Sunday. If you get a tweak on Sunday, he's not be good by Wednesday. And now you are, and once again, so yeah, to the catastrophic injury, of course, but now it's like even the little tweaks you can't even play on the little tweaks now because you have enough time to get a little rest or get enough treatment. So it's like it's just a bad disadvantage to 4 teams that are going to be in the playoffs. Like, why you want to do this to the bum teams? Why you want to do this to 2 teams that's going to be in the playoffs in a couple weeks? It don't make sense. Now somebody blow out that damn knee or blow out that hamstring, they're gonna be looking crazy. Like, it don't make sense.
Now, devil's advocate, contracts are the biggest we've ever seen in the NFL. So if I'm an NFL business exec, I'm like, yeah.
Get out there.
I hear you.
And I
ain't complain when y'all signed that deal, did
That's
you?
a fact.
Yeah, I don't want to see Giants Cowboys on Christmas either. So
I mean, that was advocate. I'm gonna be sitting my ass right here watching. So I'm not really complaining, but
no, I'm with you with the players.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And to be honest, and not that I even like y'all score, but y'all just played a Thursday night game within the last 3 to 4 weeks. So
if it affects anybody, I hope it's y'all score.
And that was a short week after Raven week at that.
Let's get Najee. Let's get George. We already got George out here. Let's get Najee.
Damn.
Let's get Jalen. Russ.
Damn, the whole squad, huh?
TJ, yeah.
Damn.
Nick had made a point about depth, though, and it's really going to have to come into play, especially with Charlie Kolar out. I think you'll see more of Pat Ricard because he didn't play as much in that Eagles game. Only played 19 snaps, just 9 on the line of scrimmage, which was his 2nd lowest total of the season. So I think with Charlie out, you'll definitely start to see more Pat Ricard back in there too on the line.
Long term, we gotta, and I know this was like part 1 of this, but we gotta rebuild the trenches, man. We gotta rebuild the trenches.
Yeah,
because having to have a glorified extra blocker in at all times just takes away the amount of weapons you can have on the field and how you can kind of attack defenses. And again, Patrick Ricard has been really effective, but my thing is you shouldn't need a Patrick Ricard. Yeah. You shouldn't need an extra inline blocker. Every time he's in the game, you know what's up.
Yeah. And I can't wait for on the clock because we had a lot of linemen we profiled last year for the draft for the Ravens that could have potentially came in and been a good fit. And of course, they all went by the wayside.
Hey man, we got Devin Leary in the 6th round, so I hope we get another compensatory pick.
Could have just signed Zeitler back, and we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
So I'm gonna assume that this is a 1-2-3.
I will hope so.
Let's go.
I'm not even gonna play with y'all. I'm not gonna play.
It is with us.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Like Tommy DeVito. If it was Daniel Jones, I might have had some jokes. I'm not going out on a limb with
Henry Hill.
Henry Hill.
Wait, did my button?
I was watching that the other day.
Great movie.
Neighbors versus Wiggins. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys.
Is it?
Who sticks Neighbors? Because Neighbors going to get his. It's just the Giants are stupid. Like they'll not target him the whole entire first half, and then pepper him with targets when they're down 20 in the second half.
Yeah. So I had seen a stat that said Neighbor lined up 75% of his snaps as the outside wide receiver, and then Nate's obviously played 93.8% of his snaps as the Ravens left outside cornerback. So they're gonna match up. Can DeVito get Neighbors as the ball is the question. Is it even a fair feed? That's probably the thing.
Yeah, this round 1 versus this little matchup, this ain't gonna mean nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of handy.
I think Neighbors gonna get his, but yeah, is it gonna be high quality targets?
Yeah,
is it gonna be anything in the red zone? I doubt it.
Let's try this again.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
All right, let's go to the first commercial break. Nitty Gritty.
When I want some sports news, Nitty Gritty is definitely who I'm tuning into, man. They show up each week with that uncut, that raw, that unfiltered sports news.
They say the things that everyone else wishes that they can say, but they can't.
Every Tuesday and Saturday, I am locked into my favorite sports show, Nitty Gritty.
Nitty Gritty, the best show out right now. Tune in and listen, stupid.